This week, Jamaica is hosting national consultations on the CSME. What's the CSME? That's the Caraccom Single Market and Economy, to assess its progress and chart the way forward. From trade to labor movement, it's a critical moment. So we want to see what's happening, and we want to ask the very important questions. Is the region really ready for regional integration? And what will make the CSME truly work for everyone? Now, Lead Story will express this with some key experts. Lead Story starts now. Hello and welcome to Lead Story on this lovely Tuesday evening. I'm Sondre Roden. So Jamaica, in collaboration with the Caraccom Secretariat, is hosting a 3-day consultation. The goal, to take a look at the CSME, how the country, Jamaica, is implementing the CSME, and identify what exactly is working and confronting what's holding us back. But in case you need a better understanding, this package should help.
With global relations growing increasingly unpredictable, the need for strong regional integration has never been more urgent. Jamaica has launched a 3-day consultation on the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, CSME, in partnership with the Caraccom Secretariat. The consultations, which run from June 16 to 18, form part of a region-wide push to take stock of how well member states are delivering on the promises of the CSME's, Caraccom's cornerstone platform for economic cooperation. The Jamaican leg of the mission includes stakeholders from across government ministries, the private sector, labor unions, youth organizations, civil society, and political leadership. It is coordinated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, MFAFT, through its Trade Agreements Implementation Coordination Unit, TAICU, and facilitated by a visiting delegation from the Caraccom Secretariat. At stake are key issues shaping Jamaica's and the region's future: the free movement of skilled labor, elimination of trade barriers, enforcement of regional agreements, and increased participation of young people and civil society in integration processes. Despite being launched over 2 decades ago, the CSME still faces implementation gaps, uneven uptake across member states, and limited public understanding. The outcomes of the Jamaican consultations will feed into a broader regional review aimed at reshaping how the CSME is implemented and communicated. We discuss on Lead Story.
All right, after this break, we'll speak with the experts. Stick with us.
At Hawkeye, we work hard to develop state-of-the-art security solutions like our new Total Connect smart home automation system that gives you 24/7 access to control your appliances, lights, cameras, and doors using your smartphone, tablet, or PC. As the most trusted electronic security company in Jamaica, Hawkeye has the fastest response times to get to you when you need us most. Trust Hawkeye's Total Connect. Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
We love our country. Like you, we take pride in building Jamaica. The resilience of our people is cemented in our products, built to last for generations. Laying the foundation for thriving communities, we're committed to excellence and quality. Quality products, quality relationships. We're all proud Jamaicans, working hard, doing good, building a sustainable future for all. That same unbeatable spirit runs through us. We are made of Jamaica.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back to Lead Story. We're talking about the Caribbean Single Market and Economy, the CSME, and the regional series that's designed to assess how Caraccom member states are implementing key CSME arrangements, amongst other things. Joining me to discuss this are Titus Prevail, Director of the CSME, and, well, he'll correct me on that one, and Communication Specialist Salas Hamilton. I hope I got the names correct. Yes, correct me on your title now.
Yes. Oh, I'm Director Caraccom Single Market.
Okay, all right, fine. Well, I think I got it right there. So I got both names correct.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I see with a nice Caraccom pin. I hope you brought one for me, but
Caraccom Pins.
Pins, okay. Yeah, I like that one with the 2 C's. But as we get into this, Prevail, let's start with you. Give the Jamaican people a simple definition of what exactly the CSME is and what exactly does it mean for Jamaica.
That's a long dissertation, but I say make it short. Sure. First of all, it's Caraccom, Single Market and Economy, not Caribbean. So the Caraccom Single Market and Economy is one of the pillars of regional integration. So as you know, we as a community have been pursuing the goal of regional integration for a while. And regional integration is pursued along 4 primary lines. So there are 4 pillars underpinning regional integration. We have human and social development. We have work that focuses on the coordination of our foreign policy. We have work that focuses on coordinating our national security and regional security. And then we have the CSME. It is the pillar of regional integration which advances economic integration. So the CSME is focused on creating what we call a single market and economy. For us to create that single market and economy, we need to have certain elements in place. And that focuses on the free movement of the factors of production. So the CSME is founded on free movement of 5 core regimes, movement of people and skills, movement of goods, free movement of goods in the community. And by free movement, we mean goods that originate from the community, meaning they have been produced and in the community, they would qualify for movement and traded among each other without any tariffs being applied. So we have free movement of services and service providers. We have free movement of capital. And of course, very importantly, the right to establish a commercial presence in any sector. So these are the 5 pillars of the CSME. And this is supported by a number of other areas, such as work on what we call a program of cross-cutting elements, such as competition policy, consumer protection, advances in intellectual property rights. So we have a number of supporting instruments that make up what we call the CSME. I'm trying to simplify that, give it to you and your consumers in a nutshell, because in every one of these areas you have a depth of work that has that is behind it. So we are in Jamaica. We're here for 3 days. Today is day 2. And it's part of something that has been going on for many, many years since the CSME actually commenced functionality in 2006. The Caraccom Secretariat, as part of its mission, would go out to member states to meet stakeholders in member states so that stakeholders are able to interact with the Secretariat. We're able to meet from government, private sector, non-state actors, and to get from them what are the elements that are working well, areas where we have challenges and constraints, and what are the possible solutions. Because the CSME is meant in large measure for the private sector to produce in an environment that is more conducive than competing in a global economic space. So we seek to build that competitiveness among the members of the member states participating in the CSME. They build capacity to trade among each other, and then that competitiveness ought to take us into the global economy.
Yeah, I want to throw this one to Salas to ask just how Jamaica is performing in terms of the CSME. I'm sure our viewers and listeners want to understand, you know, Caraccom Secretariat is here, and we want to know how Jamaica is doing.
Well, let me see how I'll answer that. Because at the end of the mission, we will have a report, which we expect to produce in another couple of weeks and send back to Jamaica. It will be hard to go into some of the details in terms of how Jamaica is performing, especially as we assess on this mission. But it's a mixed bag. And we have an implementation plan which actually ticks off some of the boxes in terms of where Jamaica is and some of the things that it has put in place. But right across the region, right across Caraccom, there is work to be done, and Jamaica has some work to be done in some of the areas. The specifics I will ask Titus to go into, but if I had to give a succinct little answer, there is progress and there is still some work to be done.
So Titus, give me a percentage.
Well, we don't.
We won't have a percentage. We'll have a percentage.
I want to catch it to see if I could give me some numbers for the people.
No, you see, the CSME has a number of components. So, for instance, we would have heard when the permanent secretary would have spoken to us. One of the objectives, permanent secretary responsible for foreign affairs and foreign trade.
Yeah.
One of the objectives of the CSME is to deepen and increase trade among the member states. So she would have indicated that in 2023, that when you look at Jamaica's total exports, just about 7% of that was exports from Jamaica to the rest of Caraccom.
Yeah.
Now, one would say that's a very small percentage, but that also indicates that if Jamaica is exporting and the bulk of its exports is going outside of the region, it speaks to Jamaica being very competitive also. So Jamaica has obviously got some competitiveness in the areas where it exports to the rest of the world. But when you look at services now, Jamaica has a number of companies, pan-Caribbean companies with establishments in a number of member states. So Jamaica is doing well in services, is doing very well in goods, not necessarily focused on the Caribbean or the Caraccom market, but focused outside. And there might be a number of factors that can lead to that. For instance, our shipping arrangements. It might be easier for Jamaica with the shipping logistics we have to ship to North America than to ship to the Caribbean. So there are a number of factors, and Jamaica there's a large diaspora of Jamaicans outside of Jamaica residing in the United States, Canada, and so forth. And so it lends itself naturally for you to focus on those diaspora markets for your goods.
Yeah, there's a question of people movement, because I did some study in university about the CSME and the movement of people. I know that there are some rules that you can follow to go to another Caraccom country where you can settle, you can work, etc. How much progress have we made on that now in 2025? Because we know that over the years there have been some mishaps as it relates to people movement throughout the Caribbean.
Excellent. So here's the good thing. As you know, we, as a community, and this is a copy of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Mine is kind of beaten up because I use it quite a lot. Article 45 of the treaty speaks to the goal of free movement of all Caraccom nationals. And Article 46 lays out a pathway to achieve that.
Right.
So in here, in the treaty, you have 5 categories of skilled nationals. So what has happened is we have approached a managed free movement by introducing skilled categories where once you obtain what you call a skill certificate, you're able to use that certificate to to seek employment in any Caraccom member state. Now, there are two other ways in which people can move, but I will just focus on the skilled nationals regime in the first instance. So the treaty has five categories. Since then, the heads of government have added 7 more categories. So we have 12 categories of skilled, or 12 skill categories.
Yeah.
Once you fall in that, in any one of these, you could apply through your Ministry of Labor in Jamaica for a skill certificate. With that skill certificate, you have the right to enter into any Caraccom member state, and you will receive automatically a 6-month period and permission to work upon presentation of that skill certificate. So the immigration officer would stamp in your passport 6 months with permission to work. At that point, you are free to go in and seek employment. If you already had an employment opportunity, you move to it. Now, during that 6-month period, say you are Jamaican, you've come to St. Lucia. You did not intend to come to work, but you have your skill certificate with you. The immigration officer gives you 6 months with permission to work. You talk to a few friends and they say, hey, there's an opportunity for you to work with a television station in St. Lucia. All you do then, you have employment opportunity. Yeah. You simply go to the immigration department and they're then able to, well, first of all, before you go to immigration, you will go to the relevant authorities in St. Lucia that is responsible for verification of your skill certificate.
I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to offer me a job in St. Lucia. But let me go for a break and then we'll come back on that point. We'll be right with you. It's Lead Story.
We love our country. Like you, we take pride in building Jamaica. The resilience of our people is cemented in our products, built to last for generations. Laying the foundation for thriving communities, we're committed to excellence and quality. Quality products, quality relationships. We're all proud Jamaicans, working hard, doing good, building a sustainable future for all. That same unbeatable spirit runs through us. We are made of Jamaica.
These days, challenges are everywhere and things are constantly changing, but independent living remains the same. Rising above physical challenges, we can help you do it. For years, we have been Jamaica's trusted provider for solutions to improve patient care, safety, and general quality of life. No matter your age or your physical limitation, we are the caring store, waiting to serve you. It's time to experience independent living. Visit us today.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
We're back with you. It's Lead Story. We've been having a conversation about the Caraccom single market economy and their trip in Jamaica to have very important meetings to check on the progress that we've made as a nation state in Caraccom with the CSME, which is Caraccom single market economy. You know, I keep getting it mixed up, but it's Caraccom. Yes. And I want to correct that clearly so all my listeners can understand the Caraccom single market economy. And what you will know about it is that a very important treaty many years ago, Treaty of Caraccom, would have established some rights and what you'd say some ways of engagement between CARICOM member states. We've been having a conversation with Titus and Salas, Titus being director of the CSME and Salas being communications specialist. And I want to go over to Salas to talk a little bit about the different categories under which you can just up and leave Jamaica to go to another CARICOM member state. I think we'd have heard about university graduates, etc., artisans, but the list is long. It's now 12. It was once five categories. Now 7 would have been added. Salas, tell us, give me a little bit more. Give me about 2 or 3 more categories.
The thing though, Sanjay, people just don't up and go, eh? Well, people just don't up and go.
Well, it is up and go if you can just apply for something.
There's that misconception that people just up and go. First, you need an airline ticket, you need a place to stay, you need to have some resources, and most times persons move for economic purposes and because they have family.
Well, that would be up and go.
And, well, I think what I will support Titus with too is that the skill certificate, you get employment, of course, without the work permit. And I think that is what persons need to understand. But some of the other categories would be the agriculture workers, the domestic workers as well, the security guards.
Okay,
those are some of...
That's very interesting.
To make it not coming across as if it's just for the technical persons and university graduates. It's about for the ordinary person as well. I want to put in a little bit. This is not my first time here at CVM, and I see some improvements from when I was back here back in the 90s.
Well, it was the 90s.